My name is Omar Ataway and I'm going to be explaining a past IB paper 1 question for topic 6. Now this question says a horizontal disk rotates uniformly at a constant angular velocity about the central axis normal to the plane of the disk. It says that point x is a distance 2l from the center of the disk while point y is a distance l from the center of the disk. It says point y is the linear speed of v and the centripetal acceleration of v. What is the linear speed and centripetal acceleration of point x? Now right away we know that the horizontal disk is rotating uniformly at constant angular velocity as it said in the question. Now this means that both point x and point y are moving at the same time. Why? Because we know that point x and point y are on the same disk, which is moving at constant angular velocity. So they're both on the same disk, meaning that they're both covering the disk at the same amount of time. So they both share the same time, which is important to know when we're going to be solving for speed. Now, the second thing we have to know is that x is a distance of 2l from the center of the disk, while y is a distance of l. What does this mean? So x is going to be moving at a circular motion, like this. And we know that even that if it's going to be moving at circular motion, the center of the disk is also going to be the center of the circular motion of x. So if we zoom in on this is circular motion of x. So this is going to be the motion of x. And this is center of the disk, so it has a radius of 2l, as you can see. While y is going to have a smaller circle since it has a smaller radius of L, and this is center of the disk, the red dot in the middle. So as you can see, y is covering less distance than x. As you can see, the circle is smaller and the radius is smaller. So how do we discover this mathematically? Well, we know that the circumference of the circle is the perimeter of the circle, which is also the distance. And we know that the circumference is equal to 2 pi r as it's in our data booklet. So if you plug in the coefficient of 1l into this, you're going to see that c is going to equal 2 pi. However, if you plug in the coefficient of 2l, which is 2, into the radius, so it's going to be c equals 2 pi times 2. So as you can see, the circumference or the distance of this distance covered is going to be doubled. Now, we know that speed is equals to the distance divided by time. And we know the time for both is the same. So if x has double the distance of y, however it has the same time, what speed will it have? So right away we know that it's going to have a speed of 2v, since y has a speed of v. However, they both share the same time, and the only difference is this has double the distance. So if you have double the distance divided by time, it's going to be equal to 2v, the speed. And now we want to find the acceleration. Now we know the acceleration is going to be the final velocity minus the initial velocity, or the final speed minus the initial speed, divided by time. Now we already know this, which is going to be 2v. So 2v divided by time, and we know the time is the same, so it doesn't really matter. So acceleration is also going to be equal to 2a, because if the velocity is doubled here and the time is the same here, and we know that the acceleration for y is going to be a, is going to be a, then for x is going to be 2a, because we know that the velocity here doubled, which is the only difference. So the velocity here doubled and they both share the same time, so the acceleration is going to be 2a. So our only answer is B, which says that the linear speed of x is 2v, while the centripetal acceleration of x is 2a. The answer can be A because it assumes that they share the same, they're covering the same distance, because it says the speed is v and acceleration is a. And it can be C because it says that the linear speed is v while the acceleration is 2a, which is not possible because they share the same amount of time. Thus, the acceleration also has to be doubled. And it can be D because it says the linear speed of x is 2v while the centripetal acceleration is 4a. And this can be possible because they also share the same amount of time. And thus, the acceleration has to be doubled and it cannot be more than speed. So your answer is going to be B.